Good morning. Welcome to the latest episode of TigerHawk TV, as always, unrehearsed and unedited. Our topic this morning is the Obama stimulus program, and our setting this morning is the Piedmont Stables in Pennington, New Jersey, where the TH daughter is riding her horse there in the background. So anyway, what do I think of the stimulus program? Well, conservatives all over the blogosphere are upset because they think that the proper approach is to work our way through this mess. We need to delever, we need to sell assets, we need inflated assets to be written off, and after that long process, the economy will emerge healthier. And I think that that is the right approach for the long term for America. Sadly, it's a politically impossible approach for Barack Obama. He cannot wait 2-3 years for the massive overborrowing to work its way through the system. No, we need to get the economy going now, or his presidency is ruined, and he knows it. So, as much as conservatives might wish that they had won the election, that is not an option. Barack Obama has won, and he's going to push through a huge stimulus program come hell or high water. So the question is, well, what do we think of it? There are several ways to stimulate the economy. One is bottoms up. You can hand people a lot of cash. The problem is, that won't work this time. People aren't spending their money on anything big. Sure, restaurants are full and their malls are full, but the reality is most people are paying down their debt, struggling to make their mortgage payments, and if we hand them hundreds or thousands of dollars, and by and large, that money will go to pay down debt. The effect of it will simply be to transfer a bunch of private sector debt to the public sector. And it will actually not, in the long run, do anything much for the economy in general. So the alternative is for the government to spend money directly. That bypasses the spending decision of the individual consumer, and it has that merit. The problem is you've got two big issues. One, there aren't enough shovel-ready projects, or I speculate that there are not enough shovel-ready projects. If we want to get the entire country working in massive public works effort, it's going to take time to make that happen. This isn't 1935 when you can snap your fingers and get people to work. There's going to be environmental impact statements to file, complex public bidding to arrange, n number of decisions that have to be made involving local governments. In New Jersey anywhere, unions to involve, probably mobsters to involve. It's complicated. Fortunately, here at least, getting all those no work and no show jobs going isn't a big deal, but actually doing work that helps the economy is. So that said, I think there's some serious doubts about the speed with which even a very effective Obama presidency, if it turns out to be such, will be able to get this money to work. But that said, buried within this are some essential programs. Number one, I think the idea that we need to rebuild the electrical grid is a correct one. Whether you are an anti-carbon greenie or an energy security hawk, we have an extraordinary amount of conservation available to us in the rebuilding of our electrical grid. It is antiquated, it's unable to move power over long distances, it's unable to regulate power to smooth the peak load, it's unable to, in many cases, take power from elsewhere in the grid and deploy it efficiently. Modernizing the grid, making it smarter, better, and more efficient it's the foundational work that needs to be done before any either green energy or anti-foreign import strategy can possibly work. So I think it's good to do, and it's the kind of project that the federal government actually does pretty well. The second big project on the docket that is sort of surprising and unusual, it's not filling potholes, it's not fixing buildings, is the information technology project for hospitals. That is also essential to any plan to save money in the healthcare system, which again is important to do whether you're a corporate tool trying to keep your costs under control or a socialist looking to spread healthcare to the entire population We have to get more bang for our buck in healthcare, and the fastest way to do that is far more effective information systems in healthcare. The problem is government is terrible at implementing information systems. The federal government has a long history of screwing up those projects, whether it's the SEC's Edgar program, which was extraordinarily expensive and atrociously ineffective for years, or the INS's computer system, or the FBI's famous antiquated computer system. The federal government is not good at this. So critical to the success of this program will be that the money be used in this sense, a bottoms-up way, allowing hospitals and healthcare systems to simply achieve certain standards, even if they implement systems that are of their own design. So I think that that's critical. But in any case, this plan is almost certain to get passed, probably with more in it than even Barack Obama is asking for. And the question then is, well, what will its impact be? Well, if you look at massive reconstruction of roads, if you look at rebuilding the grid, if you look at huge investment in schools, public buildings, heating systems to bring them up to date, as you suggested, putting computers in all the schools, massive internet expenditures, you have to think that there's a bunch of companies that are going to benefit from that. And I would give some serious thought, therefore, to investing along those lines. General Electric is a great company. It's been beaten down to a very low level. You have to think it's a buy and will benefit extraordinarily from this exercise. Honeywell's another such company. Dell, Apple, perhaps Microsoft, perhaps Cisco Systems, perhaps other companies that will benefit from the information technology investments. So my suggestion is conservatives take a hard look at what's going on, essentially admit defeat on this one, and invest their money accordingly, ultimately aspiring to have, if not the last laugh, then an outsized benefit from the Obama stimulus program. Hope you've enjoyed this episode of TigerHawk TV, and until next time, which will be when I feel like it, please keep reading. Bye.